Guys, thank you for joining Back to Basics. You are listening to Girish Bali. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving all the love and support that you're giving me on Facebook and Twitter and comments on YouTube. But thank you again. Please keep on going and please keep on following and spread the news. So today we are going to be talking about movies and TV shows. Who doesn't like movies and TV shows and entertainment, right? Chances are that if someone comes to you, you'll know the movies, the TV shows, the TV stars. Actually, you won't even remember the TV stars. You'll remember the characters that they played in. So those are the impact that the entertainment system or entertainment ecosystem that we call gives an impact to this pop culture that we're living in. So today we'll be talking to a person who critiques movie shows, TV shows, English and Bollywood, or I should say the Indian cinema as we call it. So she's quite she's a good blogger, I'll tell you, because I actually followed her a couple of years, and she's quite on the money on the reviews that I've seen. She's at least 99.9% that from my point of view. I could be wrong, but if you follow her, it'll be just amazing and you'll be blown away with that. So today my guest is Kant, and she runs Bhavna Talkies, and she'll be joining us today. So actually, if you can just warm her with welcome into this show, it'll be amazing. So Bhavna, how are you doing today?
Hi. Hi, Girish. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Yes.
And thank you, everyone who are watching this. I'm glad to be here. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Cool. And how's this COVID thing happening with you now? Things are very different now from what we have grown up with.
Yes. COVID has been very, very different and unseen for phase in our life for the last almost 1 year now. Things and a lifestyle which was unthinkable, which we never thought, it would be a year when the children are not going to school,
Yes.
and it's a new normal actually,
It's
as they call it.
yeah.
But thankfully, things have really eased down here in India, especially since yesterday it's the big day, the V Day, as we're calling it here, the vaccine day. The vaccine has been rolled out, and the vaccination has started.
Yes.
So we are actually, looking positive that things will get good in the next 2-3 months.
Yes, yes. I mean, the distribution of the vaccine will take some time till everyone gets normalized. But yes, you are right. We are actually seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, it is a very, very long journey,
Yeah,
but finally we have kind of come to the end of this, hopefully, and then we can go
yeah,
back.
hopefully. So we are keeping the fingers
Keep
crossed.
fingers crossed on that. Yes, yes. So Bhavna, I've been following you for the last couple of years, and your blog for the movie, right? So before we get into that, the semantics of that, we're gonna talk a little history about you. Um, so where obviously, when you woke up in the morning at the age of 5 or 10, you don't say that you're gonna be a blogger because we don't know what blogging is, because we have to explain to
Exactly.
people that how did this passion came in for you?
Well, I have been a movie buff, from quite a young age. And not that I realized it at that point of time, but now when I look back at it and see that I was, into regional cinema and niche cinema at an age where I don't think kids would be watching that kind of cinema.
Yes.
And my father was a very avid cinema goer, and we used to go to the cinemas and watch films and all that. So somewhere down the line, I guess I have always been a movie buff. Uh, The writing part, I guess, started about 5, 6 years back, and then those few lines became a para, and as I got a positive response from people, that was mainly Facebook at that point of time.
Hmm.
So as I got encouragement from the people, I started increasing the details that I had to give. And then one of my seniors from college, who's really into, big time into, he's a food blogger and he's into blogging. And he gave me a lot of push and a lot of encouragement. And he told me to formally, make a Facebook page and take it on seriously. So that was about 4, 5 years back when I started my Facebook page. Then I gradually moved on to an Insta page as well. And now I am on Twitter as well. I would soon be starting my website, which is not on as yet because I want to start the website with my entire archive of 300, 400 odd reviews. So it's in the process. So
Okay.
that's how the journey was, a very gradual one.
So let me explain a little to people. So blogging, what it means is that you write your expressions into this format, and the platform that she uses is obviously Facebook, and you got Twitter, and then slowly she said that she's getting into her website. So it's more of an expression, a writing expression, and then show people. Like when you're in a movie, you have an actor acting this way and that way. So she explains the expressions of that particular character, and she does it really well. So you should follow her, Bhavna Talkies. I'm going to say it again and again. Believe me, you will not be disappointed with her reviews. She does English and she does Indian also. So you will be surprised as to what her vast um, categories that she covers. So Bhavna, now, did you take a little formal writing skills before you started this blogging?
No, not really. I haven't taken any formal training or anything for the writing of this. And in fact, this is what I always say that my USP or my forte is that it comes straight from the heart. I when I write it more from the point of view as a movie buff, not as a critic. I always say that I want to be called as a movie buff instead of a critic because we're not there to criticize the movies, right? We are just there to share the love for cinema. I always write on my blogs and my pages also. I'm there to share my love for the cinema. And I would like to write it in a way wherein people get the information that they want, about what they want to watch you
Yes.
know someone myself who would be introduced to something new to watch. There's a certain information that I want without the spoiler, a brief of, what is there in the film or the show or the series. So
Mhm.
I guess it's good that I don't have any formal training because then it would be more for the people and how they want it to be.
Yes, yes. So
Though over a
you
period of time, I have
okay? So
changed my.
your the way of your critic, you do it as a critic, or you do it as an audience, or you do it as from a movie point of view.
Well, I would like to say that I do it as a bridge between the audience and the filmmaker.
Yes.
I always feel that, cinema per se, it's such a vast, expansive thing. There are all kind of films, all kind of genres, all kind of languages, and the audience is equally vast. But sometimes what happens is that the right show or the film doesn't find the right audience, and sometimes the audience themselves do not know what to watch.
Yes.
So I would say that I want to bridge. I want to be the bridge, to be able to be able to convey to the audience, what would be right for them to watch, what they would love, and things
Yes.
like that.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So I try to bridge the gap.
Yeah. So what happens that your favorite actor or your favorite director or the favorite screenplayer, let's say, okay, and if you idolize them very much for whatever your reasons are, okay, but then they fall down and at the box office, or as they call it, the the release time, right? So does your writing change a little because it's kind of disappointing for you that you idolize those guys or girls, or depending who you follow?
See, to be very honest, I always try to watch and analyze the film from the filmmaker's point of view. When a filmmaker makes something, when he creates something, there's always a vision. There's a vision behind what he wants to convey. When he writes his characters, when he creates those characters, there's a certain thought behind it. To be able to like the thing, you should be able to see from that point of view. So, well, no, my writing doesn't change, you know. Uh, I mean, you're asking, for example, if I find a film bad or the show bad, how do I portray that? Is
Yes,
what you're trying to say?
that's correct. Because you know what? Because you love those actors, you love those directors, you love the screenplay, you love the production house. So I think your
Right.
thinking process is going to change. So I'm asking, will that change, or are you going to be like truth to the product?
No, I cannot be that loyal. That would not be fair. I
Okay.
cannot be that loyal. I mean, I would call that blind faith, and blind faith is what I have in none.
Yes.
Even if it's a favorite actor or a filmmaker, if I do not like the show or the film, uh, I would say it. Though I wouldn't like bash it up like some of the reviewers do, trying to make their writing amusing and witty and entertaining. you
Yes.
know so many of them thrive that way because negativity sells. And when you kind of blow up the thing to smithereens, people love reading it. So that's not my style. But yes, I would call spade a spade. If it's not good, it's not good, period.
Okay. So people that you've heard that. So she doesn't really go to the sides, right? She looks at the format of the whole, the product itself. So she is. I'm going to say it and again during the show. She is very good in what she does, and I'm glad that I followed her, and I'm going through that process. So Bhavna, so now, how did you? uh, what do you look at the content from a movie and a show? I mean, obviously, let's go back a little. Back in the 50s and 60s, obviously the content was very different. Yes, for English and for
Mm-hmm.
Hindi, Indian movies, right? And for English, both ways, really. So how does that changed for you? And do you think, you know, back in the days there used to be a hero and there's gonna and a villain, okay, and a girl boy type of thing and all that. So now the content is very different. So how do you how does you want to explain that a little?
Well, I think it's a golden era gradually, which we are observing in the last 1 decade or so. As I say earlier, the stories used to revolve around the character, as especially in Bollywood and Indian cinema. There used to be a hero and a heroine and a villain, and that is what that mattered. But gradually, the trend has moved away to the substance based cinema where the story is the real hero, and story is what that matters. And thankfully we have seen so many good excellent writers coming up in the industry. And in the last few years, it's a slow process. We're seeing that they're gradually getting the recognition for it. I remember when in the childhood we used to be watching movies, the only thing that we knew about the movie was who's the hero, the heroine, you know, and we were not even aware about what is the rest of the cast. Forget about the director or the producer. Then gradually, somewhere in 80s probably, we started getting aware of the names of, yes, you know, so and so is the director. So somewhere, those changes started taking place. And now when we consider watching something, we also see, who's the writer and, who's the music director and things like that. So I think that's a huge change where I would say all the stakeholders of the filmmaking, they're getting due recognition, and all the different aspects of filmmaking, like the writing or the cinematography or the acting or the music, everything is getting due recognition.
Yeah.
And in a very nice way, I would say that the different aspects are they kind of support each other. For example, sometimes we see that the writing is weak, and the performances are so good that they hold fort. And sometimes the performances could be mediocre and the writing hold forts. Or sometimes a film could do well even just because of the music.
Yeah.
So that's the change. It's not just the cast oriented now. There's so many aspects of it, and they are all important.
So let me give you an example. So there's a movie back in the time called Anjam. Okay, now we know who the hero is, but that hero is a villain. Okay, but then at the end of the time, at the end of the movie, you love him and then you hate him at the same time. So that was a change that I saw. And then now you're talking Raman Raghav. Okay, you hate that guy, totally hate it, but then you love why he became that. So I think yes, you're right. I think the writing skills have changed many in vast ways. Um, Obviously, with the OTT platforms lately in the last during the COVID times, we've been seeing.
Oh, they
I
have been
think
the game changer.
that
Game
has
changer.
changed a lot in many ways. The first one, obviously, before the this whole pandemic started, is the Sacred Games. Uh, that has also changed to the higher up. So back, let's go back a little. So back in the times, let's say an actor says that I want to play a villain. That used to be not a normal norm, right? Because people they used to said, you know what, you'll be outcasted, you'll
Mm.
be down to the wrong bubble. Do you agree with that? But now today they're taking challenges. Is that agreed?
Oh yes, oh yes, definitely. See, way back years back when Shah Rukh took up the negative role in Bazigar, for that matter, and later in Anjam, everybody called him very brave because, or even Dar for that matter, And then came up this new concept of anti-hero. Prior to that, everything was either black or white. And then came the concept of gray, where a person could have his in the story genuine reasons for going bad, and but he's black, so white reasons and a black, and here comes the color gray. And yes, it is still a rare thing, because even very recently, as in when Ranbir took up the role of Khilji, and no, we have seen Shah Rukh, doing the negative roles, but the extent to which Khilji was dark and contorted,
Yes.
it was hats off to Ranbir to have carried it off well, and people were still going gaga over it. So there you see that the audience has evolved. They don't need to fall in love with necessarily a white guy. I mean, a white character.
Yeah. As I was saying,
The connection was, I think, a little.
movies like
Hmm.
the one you just mentioned, movies like Sholay, we talk more about Gabbar Singh versus Jayan Viru. So it's very different. The writing is very different, and we're talking back in the 70s also, right? So yeah, it's very iconic. So now we
Right,
talked
right.
about that. So now regarding during this whole pandemic time, right? Do you what do you th- The theater watching is very different now, and the OTT platform is very different. So what do you think about that?
Um, See, nothing, absolutely nothing could ever compete with the whole charm and the charisma of Last Screen. To
Yes.
be very honest, I am a hardcore Last Screen cinema fan. The whole effect wherein you are completely encompassed in that feeling of a dark theater, the larger than life sound effect and the larger than life image, it could never be achieved by any other viewing experience, to be very honest.
Yes. Yes.
In the last few months, unfortunately, we couldn't go to the cinemas, and uh, the movie viewing still did not stop. In fact, the silver lining was that we were suddenly, we had a plethora of choices in terms of genres and languages and platforms and things like that. It was kind of rediscovering the OTT, for many people, scores and scores of them, including me. Till the time the cinemas were there, I was just happy and content because I wouldn't ever watch a movie in any other way rather than on Last Screen.
Yeah.
But uh, now with OTT, yes, we are watching it, but somewhere I feel that the connect is never 100% when you're watching on a small screen.
Yes.
That's my personal view, and I am sure there will be many cinema goers who will feel the same, that the connect is not the same.
There are
So
there are
for me,
no, no, go ahead, please.
uh, the charm of Last Screen will never fade away. Though yes, I agree that being accustomed to the OTT watching will change the convenience and the choices that they have and things like that. But I think ultimately, when good content is available, they will go back to the cinemas. For like people like me, we will go back to the cinemas at the first opportunity,
Yes.
any which ways. But for the masses to go back to the cinemas, for them to break out of their this habitual home watching, there have to be some very good things, to lure them back to the cinemas. Uh,
Yes.
honestly.
Like for example, the latest movie came out is the Wonder Woman movie 84. Um, that we missed the theaters for that because those are the type of the movies that we want to see that on theater. Avengers is another that we want to see in
Even
theaters.
Tenet. Yes, yes, definitely, and more than that, I had Tenet on my list, and I mean Christopher Nolan. I think he's one of the most loved and respected filmmakers. We would have wanted to watch that on theaters, but
Yes.
no, we couldn't step out. And in fact, there's been a couple of niche films from Bollywood also, which have released in the last 1 month. And I am an avid fan of that particular production house and the kind of cinema that they stand for. But unfortunately, I couldn't go. I can't be affording till the time COVID is completely, has its fangs down.
Yeah. Why music is so important? Why I don't some people, we have a lot of listeners around the world. Why is music so important in the movie itself? Is it a form of expression that they're trying to feel, or is it a trying to tell the story? Can you explain that from your point of
In
view?
as far as context is concerned, we Indians, for us, music is very important. It's something which we, I think, inherently, connect with. The music part of it. Yes, from the cinema point of view, I would say that music at present is being used for many things. Sometimes, no, not sometimes. In fact, most of the times, let me check myself. It is used to convey a certain mood, you know, to convey the kind of a feel, the background score in the last 1 decade has, become so important. There was a time, if you remember in your childhood, when you used to be watching the movies, there used to be the same kind of a background score, literally, same set of background scores always there in the background of all the, stunt के लिए ये है, there are certain music in the sad scenes and a certain music in the romantic scenes and a certain music in the
In the actions. Yeah.
angry scenes or whatever. But of late, in India, the background score has become a very important stakeholder. There are wonderful scores coming up, which just are the mood enhancers, with this with the music, the filmmaker makes sure you feel what he wants you to feel. That's one aspect. And then the songs part of it. There are beautiful set of lyricists out here, with their writing and with their lyrics. They convey sometimes you have songs, and during the song, the story moves forward
Yes.
because the lyrics are conveying what's happening, what the protagonist is going through, what he's feeling. So that's another reason. And then, of course, the entertainment, which is the most important aspect. The song and the dance thing in Indian cinema and Bollywood, it's the biggest charm. That's one most loved aspect of it. The dances, romance. You know.
So,
So I
so
guess music is used for all of
I
these things.
mean, American friends of mine and all, friends that I have, when we say Indian movies or Bollywood movies, the first thing that they come in mind is, I don't think I can stand those type of movies because they have dances and songs and villains and all that. So I think the stereotype is still there, and we're still trying to educate people with that. And that is the reason why I brought you into this show, to make awareness to other people that cinema, the Indian cinema, is very different now than what it used to
Where it
be.
should be.
Yes, if you think about it, Indian movies, we release at least 300 to 400 movies, at least, what is it, per year? Is
I
that
think
correct?
more than that.
More than that, yes. So just imagine that. I mean, you have 365 days in a year, and we got more movies to watch. We're talking different regions now. We're not even talking Indian. I'm sorry, Hindi. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
Bhavna, from
Hmm.
how is that different from Bollywood, and then what people they call it? What is it? Tollywood, and I don't know where they came up with this name, but the South Indian movies. What do you think of that?
Well, regional cinema has come up in a big way in the recent, few years out here. Come up in the big way in the sense that, there've always been wonderful filmmaking, in regional cinema, be it Bengali cinema or the Tamil cinema or the Malayalam cinema. When I say, what has changed is that people have woken up to the love of regional cinema.
Yes.
So today, a Hindi speaking audience is not just limited to watching Hindi alone,
Yes.
They would relish and they would love to, watch a good regional film. And I would say that the love for cinema has now broken the boundaries of language barrier,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
They've moved across the language barrier. And there are many reasons for that. Now you have such good quality, subtitles. That's a stream. That's an aspect that has very recently developed. Otherwise, we didn't have good quality subtitles earlier. Now you have wonderful subtitles, and a movie sometimes released in many different languages. Or the dubbed versions and things watched like a couple of South Indian movies of late, and I have really been wowed by it.
Yes.
The way their sense of storytelling and the originality is sometimes way beyond even Hindi cinemas.
Yes.
And
So, I mean, I've seen most of the South Indian movies and the regional movies. One of them is called Pizza. If not anyone has seen it, you should watch it. It's an amazing movie. The content is amazing. I didn't think a name like Pizza would be good. Then there's another one that I saw was 96. A love story, yes, but the way they did the editing, and they drove that movie, you should watch that too. So those are the two examples that it comes on top of that. And obviously the new one is coming out, I think it's called Master. So I mean, there are so many different ones out there. Some people, they say
in
that.
fact, when we are talking about regional cinema and South Indian cinema, I mentioned about Jallikattu, which I think released last year, and it is going to be the Oscar nominee, 21 2000. 2021 Oscar nominee, from India. And it's a wonderful movie, so innovative. Its
Yeah,
cinematography.
we will
Yeah, yeah.
keep an eye on
That's the
that
name of
when
the.
that gets
Hmm.
released. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I
then there's
mean,
another one which very recently released, which is called Pava Kadaikal.
okay.
It is on Netflix. It's an anthology, again a wonderful one. So South cinema is coming up with gems
Yes.
time to time.
So then there's another one that I've seen. Now we'll go away from the Indian and the Bollywood because we have other audiences too, right? So there's one called Pesticide
Yes, sure.
on Parasites, and that's on Hulu. It's a very amazing.
Parasite. Oh
That's an
wow, yes,
amazing Japanese, if I'm not mistaken. Uh,
amazing one.
that's a very big
Yes,
one, and obviously everyone knows Narcos and everyone knows Money Heist. Those are good movies
right,
to
right.
watch, and very vast, very different. Um, but yes,
Very different. And the shows that I have discovered, talking of the the English shows, let's talk of them as well. I discovered the OTT with one of my most loved shows till now, which is Outlander.
yes, that is correct.
So yeah, that's that's one of my most favorite, and obviously, I mean, the world knows it. And there are some very, beautiful shows that I have discovered of late, like Unorthodox. Okay. Well, in English shows, I would definitely be looking forward to Outlander, the next season.
Hmm.
A big favorite of mine. It's my first love. And Virgin River, which is also one of my, big favorites. And yes, we are expecting another season, so hopefully it will be there. And in terms of movies, I am looking forward to watching Tenet, which I missed unfortunately because we couldn't go to the cinemas.
Yes,
So that's something that I am looking forward to. This is, English.
yes,
And in terms of Hindi, well, there's so many beautiful movies out there. For example, 82, which is going to be the Ranveer starer, based on Kapil Dev.
hmm,
That's something that we are looking forward to. Everybody loves Ranveer out here, and it's a subject which is so close to our heart. When we won the World Cup and based on Kapil Dev, so we are really looking forward to it. And then a typical masala blockbuster that everybody is waiting for is Suryavanshi.
hmm,
It has got Ajay Devgan and Akshay and Ranveer, all three heartthrobs. And then, yes, one very important movie is Lal Singh Chadda. That's an Amir starer based on Forrest Gump.
yes.
So, I mean, the original also we loved. And, we are looking forward to these three movies.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you again for giving us an insight as from your writing and your blog and people expressing themselves about this movie. And I thank you again for sharing your point of view. And do you have any last words before we sign off today?
well, I would just like to thank you for having me on the show, and I hope people enjoy the little informal chat that we had about cinema. And I would, look forward to, some more candid discussions, and we can share some more insights about our favorite shows and films and things like
Thank you
that.
for joining this amazing show that we created today, and the insight from Hindi and English. There, thank you again. There are two quotes that I wanted to give out, more from the Indian point of view and then from the English point of view. One quote that I remember: "Remembering the old days sometimes is very good for health," and that's by Raj Kapoor. And the other one is, "A day without laughter is a day wasted." That's from Charlie Chaplin. So those are the movie buffs and the movie showmen that we know. But thank you again, guys. Please subscribe. Go to the website. Get on the waiting on the contact list, and go to Facebook. Whatever messages, good, bad, ugly, either way, give me your show of love and everything else. And the last thing that what we say at the end of the show is everything in life is going back to basics, and that's what we did today with the writing blogger today. Thank you again, guys.